All right, guys, welcome. It is the 28th, Tuesday the 28th. All you're gonna need today actually is your body and a timer. We do have timer app recommendations in our description below. Check those out. It'll make your life easier. Today we do have some Tabatas, so you want one of those timers. All right, without further ado, let's get to our warm-up. Today's warm-up has 3 different movements that you're going to do 3 rounds of 3 reps each of these movements. You're going to start with upward and downward facing dog with toe touches. You're going to do 3 of these. So start in that upward dog or seal position, chin up, feeling the stretch in your abs and your hip flexors. Then you're going to go from this position into downward dog, downward facing dog, and then you're going to touch each toe with your opposite hand while in that downward facing dog position, and that is 1 rep. And you're going to do that 3 times. All right, so that is upward to downward facing dog with toe touches. Then you're going to do 3 shin boxes and forward folds. For those, you're down on the ground, feet are in the butterfly position, apart though. You're gonna bring that right knee forward, make that box, and then lean over that left foot. That's 1 forward fold. Again, bringing that left knee to the ground, making that box and leaning over the right. That's 2 shin boxes and forward folds. And keep going until you've done 3 per side of these. All right? After that, you've got scorpion stretches. You can stay on the ground. You're gonna want your arms, your hands just above 90 on these. You'll feel more of a shoulder stretch versus a pec stretch. And then you're gonna leave the one arm back and take that right leg over for a thoracic stretch. That heel should be hovering off the ground. And then come back, do the opposite side, come back, opposite side, and so forth. 3 each side on those as well. Then you go back to the top for the upward and downward facing dogs with toe touches on through, again, 3 rounds of all 3 movements, 3 reps of each. And you should be nice and warmed up. And then, all right, so press pause, do that warm up, and find me back here for your strength. All right, today's strength is a series of Tabatas. First movement's gonna be Superman, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. You're gonna do 6 rounds of that. 6 rounds of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest of the Superman. Then you're gonna do hollow rocks, making that bowl with your body and rocking back and forth. You're doing 6 rounds of that, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds of rest. Then you're doing side plank crunches. This one will be a full 8-round Tabata with 4 on each side of those side plank crunches. You're doing 20 seconds of work, but then you're holding in that side plank position for that rest. Let's go over those movements. So Superman, on the ground, on your belly, arms out in front, and you're basically going to squeeze the glutes and bring your hands and feet up again and again for 20 seconds. That's Superman. Rest 10 seconds and then go back to it for 6 rounds. After Superman's, you're going into hollow rocks. So after that 6th 20 seconds of work on the Superman, you have that 10 seconds to transition into the hollow rock. Hollow rocks, you make a bowl with your body, leg raises, arms up, and rock. So the tailbone to about the mid-back is the only thing coming in contact with the ground on those. If you're not quite to the rock for those hollow rocks, you can do a hollow hold for 20 seconds. Just making sure that those shoulders are up off the ground, driving the hands out, driving the feet out, holding that bowl with your core. All right, That's your 6 rounds of hollow rocks. After that, you're doing the side plank crunches. We started with those last week. Typical side plank position, but you're gonna come down and back up for 20 seconds. Then, for the 10 seconds rest, you're holding in that side plank. Rest. All right, and then you switch sides. You're gonna do 4 sets each side. So if you wanna alternate, 20 seconds of the right side, 10 seconds rest, 20 seconds of the left side, that's fine. As long as you do 4 total 20-second rounds of each side. All right, that's your strength. Use those timer apps to help you keep track of those Tabatas. Press pause, go to it, and I'll see you right back here for conditioning. Okay, welcome back. Conditioning. For today's conditioning, we've got an EMOM every minute on the minute for 20 minutes. 20 minutes this time. 4 different movements. That first minute, you're gonna be working on push-ups. You're gonna do 20 seconds of as many push-ups as possible. Push up in that plank position. Body's like a board, core's engaged. Chest down, elbows are in and up, down and up. If you're not quite there on the strict push-up, go from the knees. Keeping that plank position in your body, that board, everything's rigid, down and up. All right, so that's 20 seconds of the maximum amount of push-ups you can do. And then you rest for the 40 seconds that remain in that minute. Second minute's gonna be 30 seconds of air squats. You know the air squat, nice wide stance, stable midline, hands out to keep that chest up. Squat down to parallel or below, back up. Air squats, you're doing 30 straight seconds, as many air squats as you can. Then you rest for 30 seconds in that second minute. All right, the third minute is burpees. Excuse me. You're doing 40 seconds of burpees in that third minute. So for 40 seconds, it's Burpeeville. Plank it out, drop the chest down, hop up. Burpees. If you're not quite there on the burpee, you can do squat thrusts or up downs, out, in, up. Up, down, or squat thrust instead of burpees. Whichever you choose to do, doing as many as you can in 40 seconds, resting for 20 seconds in that third minute. Fourth minute is your sit-ups. Preferably you've got an ab mat for those sit-ups. Thickest part of the mat goes toward your tailbone. Butterfly those feet. Tap the ground behind you. Shoot back up. Shoulders cross the hip plane. Touch the toes. Back. That's the ab mat sit-up. Doing 50 seconds of these guys with 10-second rest. Afterward, that 10 seconds is a transition back to the push-ups, where you'll do 20 seconds, as many push-ups as you can in 20 seconds, rest for 40, and then back to air squats for 30, rest for 30, back to burpees for 40, rest for 20, back to sit-ups for 50, rest for 10. 5 full rounds of those 4 movements equals 20 minutes. It's gonna be awesome. Press pause, go to it. I'll see you back here for cool down. Good luck. All right, welcome back for a very necessary cool down. You always have the option to do the shutdown challenge before you do this cool down. It's in the description below. Today's cool down involves the lizard pose. You're gonna do 30 seconds each side on that one. You can do that dynamic or static. And then the world's greatest stretch. With the world's greatest stretch, we're gonna rest 30 seconds in each pose. I'm gonna show you that now. So start with the world's greatest stretch, get in that plank position. Then bring your right foot on the outside of that right hand. You're gonna leave that left hand planted. You're gonna try
lift that right hand up and try to bring that right elbow to the ground. That is a very strong word, try. Don't, not everybody should be able to, so don't worry about it if you can't, but the point is you're stretching this area right here. Your hamstring, your groin area is opening up. So we're gonna hold this position for about 30 seconds. So from this position, you're gonna go into a pigeon pose. So you can leave that left arm planked and just bring that leg under. Right leg under. Lower yourself onto your elbows if you can. If you can bring your head down, great. But you're gonna hang into this pigeon pose for 30 seconds. You can kind of rock back and forth. Take deep breaths, try to stretch lower each time, but hold that position for about 30 seconds. After the pigeon, come on up into a straight leg, hamstring stretch. Bring that toe up. If you can reach that toe, pull it toward you, and you're stretching this, holding this position for about 30 seconds. If you want to do a more dynamic release and stretch for that 30 seconds, you can. And then lastly, keeping that foot forward, you're gonna work into a hip flexor stretch. Bring those hands overhead, push them toward the ceiling and lower, feeling that stretch in the hip flexor. I'll switch sides for you just so you can see. Again, hands toward the ceiling, lower the leg, arch the back, feeling that stretch here. And hold for about 30 seconds for that pose. And then do the opposite side. Again, holding 30 seconds for each of those poses of the world's greatest stretch. All right, for that lizard pose, you're gonna get down on the ground. You're gonna have your right leg is forward, left hand on the ground. You're gonna grab that left foot with your right hand. And then you're gonna kind of ease forward, stretching that hip flexor area and that quad attachment, and just kind of leaning forward into that. Now you can gradually hold and breathe, and every time you exhale, try to stretch a little further for 30 solid seconds. Or you, again, can go dynamic with that and release the tension, go back in. Trying to get a deeper stretch, though, each time on that hip flexor front area. I'll do it with the opposite leg. You might get a better view. So again, grabbing your right foot with your left hand, and just bringing that left foot forward so that you can kind of lean in and stretch that hip flexor area. Really good quad stretch here too. And if you can, bring that chest up high. And again, you can either do that static, trying to stretch a little deeper each breath, or releasing and dynamically going deeper. So that is the lizard pose. That's your cool down for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining Mitten Fitness, CrossFit Dexter, for these quarantine, stay home, get ripped workouts. All right, congratulations. You have graduated into a new shutdown challenge. The last one was challenging, to say the least, especially at the very end with all those reps that have accumulated. Nobody expected to be closed this long, but thanks for challenging yourselves and sticking with it. We've got a new challenge for you starting today, Saturday, April 18th.
All right, so the new challenge has accumulating 1 full minute of elbow planking. Also, after that, accumulating 1 full minute of hollow holds. After that, you're gonna do 48 push-ups, more push-ups, but think how ready you'll be for Murph. And then after the 48 push-ups, you're gonna do 10 light, emphasize light goblet squats. Okay? So this is going to increase daily by 5 seconds on the holds for the plank and the hollow hold, by 1 push-up, and by 2 light goblet squats each day that we continue to be closed due to this virus that's out there. All right, so let's show you the movements. Elbow plank, you probably know, but I'm going to show you. Down on those elbows, on the balls of those toes, your core is engaged. You're pressing down, pressing into that ground with your elbows and your feet, your toes. Really pressing down, really squeezing the abs, squeezing pretty much every possible muscle you can during this hold to get the most out of it. All right, that is your elbow plank. Hollow hold. Make that bowl with your body. Leg raise, arms up and out. Make sure your shoulders are off the ground. Basically only touching the ground from the center of your back to your tailbone, and holding. Engage that core. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Push-ups. Push-ups you know. Push-ups you love. And start in that full plank position. Down, chest to the ground. Elbows are in, either 45 degrees or tighter, and up. Push-up. Now if you don't have the full strict push-up, no problem. Go to your knees, down, up, and if you need to scale that even further, find that coffee table, bench chair, side of your rig, and do your push-ups into that object. All right, then last but not least, goblet squats. This is not necessarily light, but it is a kettlebell in the goblet position. Elbows are in, nice and racked. Your goblet is hugging your chest. Squat stance for these, and you're gonna start with that butt back. So push the butt and hips back, down, parallel or below, and back up. Have a blast with this shutdown challenge. It doesn't matter when during the day you do this. It is meant to be as well as your normal workout for the day. You can do it throughout the day, piece it up, do it throughout the day. You can do it before you go to bed. You can do it as soon as you wake up. It's your workout, it's your challenge. Just have fun with it. Thanks, guys. Hey folks, really appreciate you tuning in. Please do us a favor, press that like button, subscribe, find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, like us, follow us. Stay healthy.